Amen. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson, by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Salutations unto the 144,000 doing the work of the Lord in all truth, honor, and sincerity. And shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children who believe in His word being taught unto them. It's your brother, I am Nawa Allah, and I'm back at you with another lesson entitled E is falling behind. And they're falling behind, China and really all the opposing nations, man, in terms of, the technological infrastructure, technological advancements, military weaponry advancement, and things of that nature. And excuse me as well for the sniffles and that. Just a little bit under the weather. These devils are spraying shit down, man. I just find it funny how it's rained over the past 2 days or so, and then not even like it's been heavy rain, but it's raining, and all of a sudden people got the sniffles and all of these sinus issues and whatnot, man. That goes to show you, man, we're literally being poisoned, man. All right, and this is, that's one of the main reasons as to why this society, this kingdom, has to be destroyed, man. Because we are literally, we wake up and we're breathing poison. We go on the phones, we're consuming poison. We're being poisoned in various different ways, man. Even food that you think is organic really turns out not to be as organic as you thought it would be. But that's just what it is, man. This is the condition of the battle. This is the reality of the situation right now, man. All right, but I wanted to get into this lesson, man. I don't really know if it's going to be a long one, but we'll see what happens anyway. So, I came across this video a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, it's in my Watch Later playlist. And, I was kind of just waiting for the spirit to hit me to do the video. But, it didn't really. I had the title lesson, I had the title put up in that. I didn't have any precepts lined up or anything, but, I kind of had it in my mind where I wanted to go with it. But then Elder Apostle Tahar, which fair use, by the way. I'm not profiting off this video at all. Elder Apostle Tahar, he mentioned this car, all right, the BYD Yangwang U8, and it brought me back to this video that I'd watched, and it made me want to speak on it, man. So this car that you see right here, as you can see, is making headlines as the world's first floating SUV. So this is some James Bond shit right here. All right. And you see James Bond, even when you think about James Bond, man, James Bond, that came out, I don't know, man. I'm a young buck, so I'd say, let's say the 60s or so. You know what? Let's fact check it. Okay, I was right as well. 1962. Okay, and you had, Esau has the tendency of unveiling, technology he hasn't unveiled to the public in these movies. Okay. And as the Elder Laban said at camp, any technology that we have, the government have got technology that's at least 25 years above, ahead of us, So that's just what it is, man. And they kind of release it in increments to us, So here it is. You've got this James Bond movie. All right, that was made all the way back in 1962, but ever since then, you haven't had no sale for cars by Edomites, for these floating vehicles that you had in that James Bond movie. I believe it was an Aston Martin. Okay, but here it is. You have in China, you have this floating vehicle here, which, by the way, they will sell for a fraction of the price than what their Edomite counterparts would sell them for. All right, but this is it here, man. Excuse the advert. Fair use again, by the way. And I'm not gonna have the sound on because I don't want no troubles. Hopefully, I don't even get in trouble for doing what I'm doing now. Shoot me what, man. Let me do it this way, man, just to play it safe. Oh, look at that, man! It has a. Oh man, I gotta play this, man. Look at that. Look at that. What Edomite motor vehicle companies do you know where their vehicle can do that? Come on, man. Make a whole 360 turn on the spot. Look at this train system here. This is an overground service, but look, the Sky Train, okay, where the line is above the train, as you can see, and then look at the bottom, man. Look at that. It's even unmanned. Look at that, man. You can look down. You see when you look at the ground. This is coming out of Moab. There you go. And you can look down. It's coming out of Moab, man. Oh, sorry. What am I doing here? Excuse me. Look at that. You don't have that in America. You still got those shitty old subways, man. Even here in the UK, I believe we've got a better transportation system than America, man. But America is meant to be that dominant force, huh? Well, in case you didn't realize, America has been lagging. America's falling behind, man. You got a car here that could literally shake off snow. This is all coming out of Moab once again. Hold on. Yeah, let me play it real quick, briefly. Look at that. This is all coming out of China. Okay. You got this. This is still in what do you call it? It's still in the works, but this bit here is a drone, and then you can attach it to this chassis, so it can either fly or you can drive it. Okay. So then, I think that's enough for me to go into. All right. So then you got to ask the question that if they're able to do this with just like public transport and just the general city infrastructure, well, what do you think? What do you think's happening in terms of their military might? Okay, because remember, these nations, especially now, they have a big budget for military expenditure because they're being prepared for World War III. All right, when you go to, because it's all the will of the Lord anyway. So when you go to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3. Internet's being slow, or maybe it's the blue letter. Damn. Zephaniah 3:8 says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. That's right. So we're waiting on the Lord to, gather the nations, to bring them into World War III. But whilst that's happening, these nations are preparing themselves for the battle, and as I said, You know, if China is able to do this for, you know, just their normal city infrastructure, then what do you think is happening in terms of their military capability in comparison to America, man? You know, America, their transportation system, that's old school, man. That old, you know, subway system that they have, that's run down, man. A bit like America itself. All right. So what would you think that would transpire to in terms of their military might? Okay. You know, you got to read in between the lines, man. Okay. So let's go to Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, and it reads, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what you have with this BRICS alliance, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. You've got these BRICS nations, all right, which were once appeared as weak. For example, India. India's got nuclear missiles now. India is capable of pushing that button. Before they was just, you know, there was just, you know, a piece of dirt somewhere over there that these Edomites will get tea from, you know. Now they're able to, now the playing field is level. They've got their nuclear arsenal. They've got that button to push. All right, so that's an example of the weak saying, "Let the weak say I am strong." All right, and really, it's the spirit of the Lord that's allowing these weak nations to be strengthened to bring forth the prophecy of World War III, which World War III is biblical prophecy, mentioned in quite a few scriptures in the Bible. But we're going to go to Revelation 11 and verse 14, because that's straight to the point. It says, The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. And that's what we see, you know, looming upon us. World War III, the war drums are beating. All right. So Joel 3 and 11 says, Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in the Middle East. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, because that's where World War III is going to take place. You have the way of the kings of the east being prepared by way of the river Euphrates being dried up, which is a prophecy that's actually written in Revelation, the 16th chapter. All right, so the will of the Lord is playing out, man. All right. What did I want from there? I wanted Ezekiel chapter 38, and we can start verse 5, and it reads, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And who are they with? They're with Gog and Magog, which is Russia. All right, Ra'ashah, that chief prince, which is going to be a guard unto all, you know, the BRICS nations, man. Which even when you look at it on a map, you know, you see the where Russia's positioned and where, you know, like these BRICS nations are. All right, or majority of these BRICS nations, because you've got like you know, you've got like Brazil, which is here, which really is not here. Really, it would be yeah, here. All right, west. But you know, for the most part, here's Russia. All right, and then you got these nations here, which will comprise of the BRICS nations, most of these nations here, right? And then you got Brazil over here. You got Turkey. They're pretty much West Turkey. They want to jump ship anyway. You know, they're part of the NATO and the EU. But one thing that Turkey hasn't given up, despite being a part of the NATO and the EU, its Islamic roots. Turkey is still a very much Islamic country, which, with that being said, it would make all the sense in the world if they was rather linked up with the BRICS Nation Alliance, because majority of the BRICS Nation Alliance are Islamic belief as well. All right. So we go back to Ezekiel 38 and 5, it says, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of all the north quarters, which Gomer and the house of Togarmah would today be around the Turkey or Armenia region. Okay. And many people with thee. Verse 7 reads, Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So again, it's Ra'asha, that chief prince, that's going to be a guard onto these BRICS nations, all right, which are going to come up against the West, all right, the NATO and the EU, all right. So this is, what's getting ready to happen, man. And the thing is, because you need to remember, in World War III, all right, all 50 states of America is going to be on fire. All right, 5,000 square miles of land is going to be on fire. Canada's going to be okay. Mexico's going to be okay. But America, all these 50 states are going to, that's going to be a barbecue right there. Okay. And, I don't know what it is they're going to do or say, but with Trump being in there, the possibilities are very high. They're basically going to say or do something that's going to piss off the NATO and the EU. And then those countries that make up the NATO and the EU are then going to shoot their missiles over to America as well. Okay. So when you read Revelation 17 and really we can start at 12, man. All right, 1 minute. Revelation 17 and 12 says, And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So that's basically, those 10 horns would be about, give or take, 30 today. The 30 countries that make up the NATO and the EU alliance, right? And they America just unofficially elected as the leader of that alliance. So that's what it means when it says, they're the 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So pretty much, they're like lesser governments under the Americans, but they don't really have the say so like how America has the say so, because really at the moment it's like wherever America says, that's what goes. And if you come up against it, you get sanctioned and this, that, and the third, or you know how America do. You know how they do. So verse 13 says, These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right? 14, these shall make war with the Lamb. All right. So the NATO alliance, and really even the BRICS Nation alliance, they're going to make war with the Lamb as well, which is the Yahweh Shai. Because when you read 2nd Ezra 13, it tells you about how they turned their battles from each other and they all came to face Yahweh Shai, for lack of better words, which even that president, I think it was Ronald Reagan, he had that speech where he said, if there was some kind of foreign threat that entered into our atmosphere, wouldn't we then, leave our differences behind and come together and fight against it? So these Edomites, they know their fate, man. All right. They know that they're pretty much operating off borrowed time. Okay. It says in 14 again, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful, right? Those are the elect, which you can read all about them in Revelation 7 and Revelation 14. All right. Verse 15 says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right. Because even, where it says where the horse sitteth, man. All right. That's talking about America. When you see America, America's likened onto that great melting pot, man. Because you got all nations, all philosophies, all religions over there in the land of America, which is why America can also be likened onto Babylon, because Babylon, the word Babylon goes back to the word Babal, the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. All right. So it says in verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which again would be likened unto about 30 odd today, given the NATO and EU alliance, says, these shall hate the whore. All right. And you see that especially with Turkey, man. These nations are starting to hate the whore, man. From time, they bombed that Nord Stream 2 line, that major fuel line that ran underground, man. The price of the fuel ain't never been the same, man. All right. So these nations are starting to hate America. Their own allies are starting to hate them, and I think they're plotting and scheming on the side what they're gonna do. You know how it goes. All right. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. All right. So that's what's gonna happen, man. That's the judgment of the whore, which whoredom, in the scriptures is dealt with, is punishable by fire. If the priest's daughter was a whore, she'd be burnt to death. That would be her punishment. Okay. Verse 17, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So that's exactly how it's played out with the NATO and the EU alliance. All right. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, right? America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So they're the ones that actually spearhead the NATO and the EU. All right. But the Lord is, as we read in Zephaniah 3 and 8, we're going to wait upon him until he rise up to the prey. His determination is to gather the nation. So that's exactly what we see happening, man. But what, what it is that it's inevitable that America will be destroyed because they don't have the same technological advancement as their enemies do. Like Moab, for example. There's certain things Russia has as well that they're not privy to, or even like the Satan II missiles, man. So pretty much when you think about it, man, America is fighting a losing battle, man. And really, it's all prophecy anyway. All right. But, the scriptures talk about what the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. So, through the pride of this devil, he still believes that he's going to somehow prevail. When you hear some of these proud ass Americans speak, they speak like their military can never be taken down. Like they're untouchable. Nothing can break them. But they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they see what the Lord has lined up for them in the near future, man. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real brief, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in some interesting times, man. So we're just gonna have to see how everything plays out. But what a beautiful time to be alive, man. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I pray, Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying. And until the next time, I say shalom.